covering your hometown. From 5 newsrooms across the region, this is WDBJ 7.
Now at 6.
Yes, you give me the fastest helicopter they can get there, please.
Virginia is in mourning tonight.
28-year-old Lucas Dowell, a state trooper, gunned down in the line of duty.
You know, they put their lives at risk daily for us.
Now loved ones and the community are grieving someone who only wanted to serve and protect.
Shock. I mean, it's just hard to process.
This special edition of WDBJ 7 begins right now.
And we thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Robin Reed.
And I'm Melissa Gayona, in tonight for Jean Jadhun. Our top story tonight, a Virginia state trooper was gunned down in the line of duty.
It happened here at this home in Cumberland County, just outside of Farmville last night. 28-year-old Lucas Dowell died at the hospital.
And we have team coverage tonight. Let's start with Ashley Ann first. Ashley, you say he was helping serve a warrant when this all started.
Melissa, Robin, that's right. It was part of a drug and gang task force operation that happened here in the Cumberland County community last night. And, you know, it was folks here in the Cumberland Road neighborhood where this happened that say they're just shocked that it could happen in their own area.
5232 Cumberland Road, all units respond.
It was just before 10 when police raided this home Monday night. That's when police say state trooper Lucas Dowell was shot.
If you have uniformed troopers still right to this scene, we can use these help with the security so that my guys can stand down.
Trooper Dowell was rushed to the hospital where he eventually died. The operation was part of the regional drug and gang task force. Police say when they made entry into the home, they were met with gunfire. 2 other troopers fired back, killing the suspect, Corey Johnson of Cumberland County.
And I saw a bunch of lights across the street.
Amber Carter lives just a few houses down from the scene.
You know, I wasn't on alert or anything like that. Nothing told me like I was in danger. So it kind of takes away from your sense of security. Nobody saw it coming.
Carter says she's never seen anything like this unfold in her own neighborhood. Johnson was the only person inside the house. Police say the search warrant was, quote, being conducted as part of an ongoing narcotics investigation.
I mean, I just hate it for anybody that has to go through this and wake up and hear this news first thing in the morning. You know, it's terrible. I'm sorry. It's terrible. It's terrible.
And no other troopers were injured in this raid. And Melissa, the 2 troopers that did fire their guns have been placed on administrative leave, and that's pending the investigation outcome.
Yeah, a lot of people have been impacted by this tragedy. Ashley, thank you for your report.
Trooper Dowell was based at a state police office in Amherst. Today, the lawn in front of that office is turned into a memorial where law enforcement and people from the community are helping to pay their respects. WDBJ7's Tim Saunders is live in Amherst. So, Tim, I understand the memorial continues to grow by the minute.
Earlier this afternoon, Robin, there was just a single blue bouquet on the hood of this car, but people have been coming by all afternoon, adding flowers along with ribbons and wreaths. Many of these people say they knew Trooper Dowell personally. Others just want to pay tribute.
Kneeling for a quiet moment in front of the car once driven by their comrade, state police and other law enforcement offer a solemn tribute. While they didn't want to talk on camera, officers who worked with Trooper Lucas Dowell shared the same sentiment as those who knew him in the community.
He is a very positive person. He's always smiling. He's a good-natured person.
Dozens who stopped by to remember Dowell say that smile he wore in his state police photo was a mark of the genuine enthusiasm he held for his job.
He was friendly and outgoing, and he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed.
On a small blue ribbon tied to the grill of his patrol car, members of law enforcement left notes for Dowell. One read, "Buddy, I'm going to miss you so much. We will hold the line from here." Another, "Thanks for always having my back." People in the community like Steve Martin say they knew Dowell and felt compelled to show up and honor him.
Just sad, heartbroken, kind of angry, but I just feel so bad for his family.
Lucy Mack drove more than an hour from Buckingham County to lay a wreath in front of Dowell's patrol car. She said Dowell was a member of her gym, but she's devastated for those who knew him much better.
That's someone's son. You know, that's someone's grandson or uncle or cousin. It breaks my heart.
There's a really solemn moment out here earlier this afternoon. A number of Virginia State troopers and other law enforcement officers gathered around this patrol car. They wanted to pull some of Trooper Dowell's personal effects out of the vehicle. And even though there are a number of reporters here gathered to cover this story, we all took a step back and gave those officers an opportunity to mourn privately. I've reached out, Robin, to a number of law enforcement officers today to try and talk to them a little bit about Dowell. We wanted to try and humanize him and help the audience understand who he was. While the officers I talked to were appreciative that we reached out, they said they were just too distraught to talk on camera, but they wanted everyone to know that Trooper Dowell took his job very seriously and understood the sacrifice he was making.
Understood. Reporting live for us tonight in Amherst, Tim Saunders, thank you very much. Lynchburg's police chief, Ryan Zudema, released a statement today expressing condolences for the loss of Trooper Dowell. It reads in part, the Lynchburg Police Department grieves the tragic loss of Virginia State Police Trooper Lucas Dowell. We offer our support to the VSP during this extremely difficult time, as well as our thoughts and prayers to the trooper's family. We are humbled and thankful for Dowell's selfless example of dedication and sacrifice.
Trooper Dowell grew up in Chilhowie, where he played football and baseball in high school. Looking through his senior yearbook from 2009, it's clear Dowell was a beloved classmate, teammate, and friend. WDBJ7's Leanna Scacchetti spent time with someone today who watched Dowell grow into that young man. Leanna, you say his high school coach remembers him well.
That's right, Melissa. Coach Robinson has been coaching here at Chilhowie High School for the last 2 decades, but he told us today Lucas Dowell was a student he never forgot. But his death comes on the heels of another death of a former student, which is still rocking this small, tightly knit community.
It was a shock, and it's been on my mind all morning, all afternoon. I can't escape it.
Coach Jeff Robinson has seen life play out on the fields and hallways of Chilhowie High School. Now it's the loss of the players, not the games, that saddens him most.
You know, Lucas is one of those that sticks out to you, you always remember.
Robinson coached a teenage Lucas Dowell in football and baseball, saying that while he was no exceptional athlete, he was an exceptional teammate. He
had just a smile that light the room up, and such a great personality. Usually when you were around him, you were smiling, laughing yourself.
Robinson remembers Dowell knowing from an early age that he wanted to pursue law enforcement.
In 10 years, he sees himself being a U.S. Marshal or in the FBI.
It wasn't long ago he saw Dowell for what would be the last time.
It's probably been about 5 or 6 months ago now, and I told him I was proud of him, so that's the last time I saw him.
It was at the funeral of Will Walker, friend and teammate to Dowell.
Those are 2 guys that, you know, were doing a lot of good in the world, in the prime of their life, 28, 30 years old, and just gone way too soon.
Too soon for those who knew him best, but here at Chilhowie High, Dowell is locked in time, forever remembered for being among the best friend, teammate, and player of a generation.
We hope that we make an impression on these young men that come through here, but in the end, they make an impression on you that you don't forget.
In his yearbook, it says Dowell was voted best smile of his senior class and most school spirit. And again, Melissa, this is really hard for this community, having just lost Will Walker a couple months ago. In fact, Coach Robinson told us he realized just today the only 2 photographs taped to the file cabinet in his office are Will Walker and Lucas Dowell.
Wow. And I'm sure they'll remain there for quite some time. Leanna, thank you for your report. Now, Trooper Dowell graduated from Radford University. One of his professors says he was eager to graduate and become a state trooper.
Radford University is deeply saddened to learn of the line of duty death of Trooper Dowell. He truly embodied the Highlander spirit during his service to the Commonwealth of Virginia and while here on the Radford University campus.
Dowell earned his criminal justice degree in 2013.
Lawmakers are also reacting to the loss of Trooper Dowell. 9th District Congressman Morgan Griffith released a statement saying, quote, "I am sorry to learn that Trooper Lucas B. Dowell was killed in the line of duty." Griffith said his prayers are with the family. Grayson County Senator Bill Carrico delivered emotional remarks before the state Senate adjourned today. He knows Trooper Dowell's family, and Carrico's son trained with him in the state police.
He was a impeccable character, young man, driven to be the best he could be at anything he did. but he had such a personality that was bigger than life. And every team member that he has will know that that's Lucas in a nutshell. And he's going to be greatly missed by everybody.
Governor Northam broke his silence today, expressing his condolences for Trooper Dowell's family. The governor said Dowell's passing is a great loss to the Commonwealth. His statement went on to say, quote, "We are grateful for his dedication to the safety of our communities."
Trooper Lucas Dowell spent 4 years walking across the Radford University campus and spent many days here in the Humanities Building. Dowell was a criminal justice major and looked to serve at some level.
We produce graduates who not only have a theoretical understanding of laws and issues related to criminal justice, but also who have had the opportunity to get hands-on experience in a variety of ways while they're here, so that when they go out into the community, they're well prepared to join the profession of public safety professionals.
As Dowell pursued his degree, professors who knew him say he was ambitious and had his eyes set on what would be next.
They remember him as being a very dedicated student, as being very passionate in his study of criminal justice, and in wanting very much to be able to go into a position where he could help people and make a difference.
Staff says they're a close-knit group with about 100 students graduating from the program every year. So this loss is a hard hit to the community.
Radford University is deeply saddened to learn of the line of duty death of Trooper Dowell. He truly embodied the Highlander spirit during his service to the Commonwealth of Virginia and while here on the Radford University campus.
And as I talk with staff here, they say he just made a huge impression on people here on this campus and while he was here and graduated in 2013, Jane. So again, the Radford community is mourning the loss of Trooper Dowell today.
He will be missed by many. Bianca, thank you.
There's a tie that binds people who serve with Virginia State Police.
It's a big family.
If there was a glue that held the family together in the Lynchburg area, troopers say it was Lucas Dowell.
Lucas, he was the heartbeat. Everybody knew of Lucas. If they didn't know him personally, they knew of him.
His smile and sense of humor helped him make fast friends among his peers.
He had this uncanny ability to impersonate people, and especially supervisors. So when he would impersonate a supervisor, it was just one of the funniest things that you would ever watch.
Don't get the wrong idea, they say. If there was a model employee, he was it. Supervisors say Dowell rarely missed work and often volunteered to pull shifts when he was supposed to be off.
It's great to see that there's somebody easy to supervise, because they just have the right mindset.
A mindset of commitment and compassion.
He would give you the shirt off his back and then complain you didn't ask for it earlier.
In his work, colleagues say he was intensely driven.
He had so many goals that he wanted to achieve, and he would attack those goals.
Early on, co-workers say Dowell set his sights on becoming a member of the State Police Tactical Team, a goal he achieved at a young age.
He kind of impressed you, not by necessarily what he said, but his actions and how he went forward doing those actions.
A rare person, they say, in both life and law enforcement.
If you never got the chance to meet Lucas, you missed out on a good opportunity.
Like so many kids in high school, Lucas Dowell was full of passion. Lots of passion for his beloved Chilhowie Warriors. That's him wearing number 84. And genuine compassion to help the people around him.
He had a passion to serve, and more importantly, a passion to make other people's lives better.
Dowell saw law enforcement as a place where he could help people the most. It's a career he set his sights on at an early age.
What he wanted to do growing up, he wanted to be U.S. Marshal or FBI down the road.
Adam Clampett and his brother Aaron watched Dowell follow his dreams from the beginning. They've been best friends since grade school.
He was pretty much a brother to us. We lived half a mile from each other growing up, and I still live, right down the road from him now.
They shared life's big moments. Dowell was in both of their weddings. The Clampetts say Dowell was always there, sharing good times and shouldering the tougher moments.
No matter what was going on in his life, your problems were more important, and he put your problems and other people's problems above his own.
But even during those difficult times, Dowell's friends say that smile never left his face.
You could never be mad when he was around. He was such a blessing.
A blessing, they say, for those he loved and those he sought to serve.
You couldn't have asked for a better a better man to become a police officer and serve this county and this state. I just miss him so much.
They were so gracious to share those memories with us. I caught up with Dowell's friends while they were on their way back to Chilhowie today. They just stopped in Lynchburg to see a memorial that had been set up in their friend's honor. That memorial service is supposed to happen, Robin, on Saturday morning.
The community of Chilhowie is welcoming those from near and far to honor the life of fallen Virginia State Trooper Lucas Dowell.
Visitation for Trooper Dowell began today at Chilhowie Christian Church. WDBJ 7's Anthony Romano joins us live in Chilhowie. Anthony, you say the law enforcement turnout there today is not just from Virginia.
Melissa, Jean, yes, from Arizona to New York. Law enforcement from quite literally around the nation have turned out here to Chilhowie, a town with a population of less than 2,000, to pay their respects to fallen state trooper Lucas Dowell.
The parking lot of Chilhowie Elementary School was packed on Friday as a steady stream of shuttles took both civilians and law enforcement to pay their respects to fallen Virginia State Trooper Lucas Dowell. Dowell died Tuesday after being shot while executing a search warrant in Farmville. The turnout for Friday's visitation didn't surprise lifelong resident Betty Blevins.
It's just how our people support our people, and our law enforcement we respect very much, and we pray for them every day.
Captain Ron Arthur, who came from West Virginia, says Dowell's sacrifice embodied the oath taken by every officer.
And when you think about what that means, you're raising your right hand and promising in front of God that you're going to risk your life at a moment's notice for a complete stranger. And it's that honor and integrity and everything it takes to live that life every day after you say that oath and after you promise it in front of God. It's that honor that you feel when you see someone sacrifice like that. It's the least you can do is come and pay your respects.
Now, the first visitation session ended just a short while ago. The next one runs from 6 to 8, and it is open to the public. Melissa, we'll hear from others who came a long way to pay their respects coming up at 6.
And it's good they're giving everyone a chance to come and pay their respects. I know a lot of folks wanted to do that. A lot of people impacted by Trooper Dowell. Anthony, thank you for your coverage tonight. And WDBJ 7 will be at Trooper Dowell's funeral tomorrow. You can watch the whole ceremony on both WDBJ 7 and WZBJ 24 starting at 11 in the morning, and then see a full wrap-up starting at 6.
Tonight on WDBJ 7, a community in mourning. Virginia State Police are remembering one of their own.
You see, Lucas could always be counted on.
A look at the services honoring Trooper Lucas Dowell.
Please know, Lucas was never alone on his last call.
And how the community is reacting to the loss of a man remembered affectionately by those that knew him best. This special edition of WDBJ 7 starts right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bianca Holman. I'm in for Sarah Maki this evening. Tonight, we're continuing our coverage of Trooper Lucas Dowell. Dowell was killed in the line of duty this week. Today, more than 1,000 people gathered for his service in the hometown of Chilhowie, Virginia. This is Air 7 video of the area around the church. From West Virginia to Georgia, troopers from across the nation came to the service. Everyone coming to pay their respects to the trooper and to support his family. As WDBJ 7's Leanna Scacchetti shows us, friends, family, and strangers were moved to tears, encouraged to laugh and to be reminded of the ultimate sacrifice.
It's one thing for people to say how much they love Trooper Lucas Dowell. It's another to show it. Well, the community showed it today, and the law enforcement community, not only in Virginia, but across the country, right here at Chilhowie Christian Church for Trooper Lucas Dowell's memorial service.
And Lucas said, you know, I want to do a better job of making the people I love know and feel how much I loved them. I believe even more strongly now that what I said to him then was the truth. I said, Lucas, you already do that.
Hundreds of troopers from across the country joined Trooper Lucas Dowell's family and friends to say goodbye and to say thank you.
I know Lucas's actions that night saved lives, without a doubt. He saved the lives of his TAC team members.
Speakers that included family, friends, and supervisors spoke confidently on how much Dowell loved his job.
You see, Lucas didn't go into that house in Cumberland County on his own. He went in with his team. And it was his team that carried him out.
Though tears fell, friends knew they couldn't speak of their smiling friend without also laughing.
Kind of interrupted me. He leaned forward, he smiled, squinted his eyes, and he said, "Look, let's just get down to the heart of this thing. Do I get to drive a tank?"
Friends say Dowell was quick to deliver a smile, a joke, and a quote from his favorite movie, Saving Private Ryan.
He looked at all of his teammates and he said, and I quote, "Keep the sand out of your weapons, keep your actions clear, and I'll see you on the beach."
And so as they lay their friend to rest, Dowell rides away in a tank he was determined to drive, leaving his friends behind to quote, "a brother in blood, a brother in arms, and a friend to an entire community."
The night that Lucas passed away, and I went down to that drawing because I couldn't go back to sleep, and I read what Lucas had written me in 2016. He said, "Matt, it's been a wild ride. You were the best choice for team leader. And remember, keep your actions clear. I'll see you on the beach."
A very moving service, and this is actual footage of that procession out in Chilhowie. But his friends, they say he was the glue. Trooper Lucas Dowell, he was the glue that held their work family together. They were at the service today. They were joined by law enforcement officers from around the state and around the country. And this is his funeral procession leaving the church in Chilhowie. You can see law enforcement officers standing at attention to see Trooper Dowell off. And many of those troopers came from across different states to show their support. There was one group that had a special connection to him. WDBJ7's Anthony Romano has that part of the story for us.
Over the past 2 days, members of law enforcement have poured into Chilhowie from around the nation, places like Vermont, Tennessee, and New Mexico. But for one regiment from New York, their trip to the Commonwealth meant even more because who it was for tied directly to their past. Troopers rode into Chilhowie on Saturday morning from across the nation, each with a deeply personal reason for doing so. One group came down from New York because of a direct connection they shared with fallen Virginia State Trooper Lucas Dowell.
I worked out of his office. I worked out of Lucas's office when I was down here.
Trooper Nathan Seifert previously worked for Virginia State Police. He left Unit 20 for New York shortly before Dowell arrived.
We all know the same people. We worked with the same guys. And to go in there and see these guys and just how emotional they are, it really hits home.
Of the 8 New York State troopers who came for the funeral, 4 had previously worked in Virginia. They say the bond that formed then is what brought them back now.
Being a Virginia State trooper, we have a bond amongst each other, you know, and that's unbreakable. And being here to support them in something like this, you know, tragedy, you know, we want to come together in good times, and unfortunately this is when we come together.
And as Trooper Dowell made his final pass through the town where he grew up, those he knew and those he didn't all knew exactly why they were there.
You look across it, it's just, you've got basically the whole country covered. There's agencies from all around the country that are here, and it just goes to show everybody that we all bleed the same, we all think the same, we all act the same. You hate to use the cliche, but it really is a huge family.
In Chilhowie, Anthony Romano, WDBJ7.
The Chilhowie community also poured out their love in support of Trooper Dowell. The procession rode through town, many watching as the state police drove by. You can see the local fire department. They raised the flag for the trooper, and several businesses also posted signs paying their respects to a hometown hero. And of course, after that procession, many people were there in the streets showing their support. And WDBJ7's Lindsay Kane, she spoke with some people from the community about what this day meant to them.
Whether folks at the Chilhowie community knew Trooper Dowell or not, they all came out to show their support. Here's what they had to say.
I feel, you know, sorrowness in my heart
for their loss, and as a brother of law enforcement, it means a great loss to the world.
Rick Romans went to church with Dowell and his family, but Dowell's death resonates with him on another level.
Police is a brotherhood, and you lose one, it's just like losing your own brother.
He joined the community to watch the funeral procession. Dowell's casket was carried in this tactical truck. U.S. Air Force Reserve member Brian Martin was among those watching.
When I put on this uniform, I serve our country, but these kids who wear that badge, they serve our community day in and day out, and I just feel like we're brothers in arms.
Martin grew up in Chilhowie, a place he says is tight-knit.
Today, to me, means it means home.
You don't have to question whether you're alone. You're never alone.
Brandon Moore wants the family to know they are not alone.
We want to do everything we can for the family, and we want to be here for whatever they may need, and hopefully we honored him today.
While the procession has ended, the memory of Trooper Dowell will live on. In Chilhowie, Lindsay Kane, WDBJ7.
And outside of Chilhowie, the entire state of Virginia is honoring Trooper Dowell today with flags flying at half-staff, including here at the state capitol. Governor Ralph Northam and his wife Pam made a trip from Richmond to Chilhowie to attend the service for Trooper Dowell. And as you can see them here standing by as Dowell's casket was carried out of the church. And at the same St. James Church Cemetery in Smith County, several hundreds gathered for his burial. Take a listen to the trooper's final roll call.
Appomattox to Unit 876, ending tour of duty, February 9th, 2019 at 14:31 hours. Godspeed.
That is CAD Tech Martin Paulson from the Wytheville Division that you just heard. He was there to officially end Dowell's tour of duty before his burial. We've been following this story from the very beginning. For all of our coverage on Trooper Dowell, you can visit our website, WDBJ7.com. And you're watching your hometown station, WDBJ7. We'll be right back after this break.
In Amherst County, a Virginia state trooper killed in the line of duty received a rare honor. Trooper Lucas Dowell was shot during a drug raid in February. Today he had a bridge named after him. It crosses over U.S. Route 29 near Amherst High School. WDBJ7's Eric Miller reports those who organized the dedication hope Trooper Dowell will inspire students.
Hopefully maybe some of them might decide to go into law enforcement after all this.
Without Steve Martin, there might never have been a Trooper Lucas B. Dowell Bridge. The Amherst business owner spent months making this sign a reality, collecting over 2,000 signatures from members of the community.
I had a lot of help.
It's an effort that Friday paid off in full as Martin joined state troopers, legislators, and Lucas Dowell's family in a special ceremony dedicating the bridge. Dowell's mother, Becky, said that Lucas considered the Amherst area above all other places he had lived and served to be his home.
Lucas loved the people here in Amherst and in this area.
As flags waved and bagpipes played, those who knew Dowell and those who didn't took the stage to pay their respects. They described him as a man who was always ready to help, quick with a smile and a kind word. After the ceremony, a crowd, including Steve Martin, went down to the newly dedicated bridge. Looking out across the span, he says it's a reminder that though Trooper Dowell may be gone here in Amherst, his memory lives on.
And we're not going to forget him out here in Amherst. We'll never forget him, especially now we got the signs.